Well, hello there. My name's Tom Coughlin, and I'd like to tell you a story. This story is called Little Black Sambo. It was written by a British woman in the 1880s named Helen Bannerman. She sent it in a letter to a friend of hers in England, and it was published as a kid's story in 1899. It's a good story, and it goes something like this. Once upon a time, there was a family called the Patels, and they lived in a village in India. Now, Patel means smith, and Samada Smith, he was a blacksmith in the village. He was a big, tall man. Everybody called him Big Black Sam because he was a blacksmith. He married a woman from down south in India, from Goaways, who was the best maker of pancakes in all of India. Made the best doses, and of course blacksmiths have a big appetite. Well, they had a little boy by the name of Sammy. You know, he was a little fella, took after his mama, so everybody in the village called him Little Black Sam's boy. You know, and well, it was getting towards the dark of the moon in November one year, Diwali time, a big festival of lights, and everybody in the village is getting ready. Sammy's mama, well, she bought him a new set of fancy clothes, a hat, top hat, parasol, fancy red shoes. Sammy, he was the handsomest kid in the village. Well, day before the festival, Sammy's mom says to Sammy, I'm going to make up a bunch of pancakes, doses for the festival. Says, I want you to go over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house. She's got a cow and she can give us some butter to make the doses with. Well, Sammy got dressed up all in his new clothes to go see Grandma, grabbed a bucket, and he headed through the woods towards Grandma's house. He hadn't gone too far before he saw a tiger. The tiger stopped and says, I'm going to eat you, boy. Sammy says, you don't want to eat me, Mr. Tiger. Says, I'm a scrawny little kid. I won't taste very good. Tiger says, I don't know about that. Sammy says, I'll tell you what, I'll give you my hat if you don't eat me, and you'll be the handsomest tiger in all the jungle. Says the tiger. All right. So Sammy gave the tiger his hat and walked off. Uh-oh. Sammy hadn't gone too far, or another tiger shows up on the trail. This tiger says, I'm going to eat you, son. Sammy says, you don't want to eat me, Mr. Tiger. I'm just a scrawny little kid. The tiger says, I don't know about that. You look like you taste pretty good to me. Sammy thought quickly, and he says, Mr. Tiger, if I give you my parasol, my umbrella, you'll be the handsomest looking tiger in all the jungle. Says, I'll give it to you if you don't eat me. How would I carry it? Said the tiger. Well, we could sort of just wrap it around your tail. Says the tiger. Okay. So Sammy helped the tiger wrap his parasol around his tail, and that tiger went off into the woods, thinking he was the handsomest critter in all the jungle. Sammy headed to his grandma's house. Uh-oh. Another tiger came out of the woods, headed right for Sammy. Says, I'm going to eat you, boy. Sammy says, please don't do that, Mr. Tiger. I'm just a scrawny little kid. I wouldn't taste too good. The tiger wasn't having none of it. He says, I don't know about that. Sammy says, I'll tell you what, I'll give you my new jama, my fancy coat. Says, and you'll be the handsomest tiger in all the jungle. Says the tiger. All right. So Sammy took off his jama and he threw it over the shoulders of the tiger and put the tiger's ears through the sleeves. And that tiger sashayed into the jungle thinking he was the handsomest critter in all the jungle. Sammy headed towards Grandma's house. Uh-oh. A fourth tiger came across Sammy's path. The tiger says, I'm going to eat you, son. Sammy says, please don't eat me. I'm a scrawny little kid. I wouldn't taste very good. "I think you taste just fine," says the tiger. Sammy says, "Well, I'll tell you what. If you don't eat me, I'll give you my pretty red shoes." The tiger allowed that they were pretty red shoes, but he says, "You got 2 legs and I got 4 legs. 2 shoes aren't going to do me any good." Sammy thought about it real quick and he said, "Well, we could put the shoes on your ears and that would work." Says the tiger. "All right." So Sammy took off his red shoes and he put them on the tiger's ears, and that tiger just headed into the woods thinking he was the handsomest critter in all the jungle. Sammy headed on towards Grandma's house. Uh-oh. Off in the distance, Sammy could hear the sounds of a big fight. Those 4 tigers had run into each other, and they were fighting each other. Who was the handsomest tiger in the jungle? Well, they decided that they would take off all their new clothes, and they put them over a fallen tree log there. And then they chased each other, didn't want to get the clothes messed up. And they started chasing each other round and round. Sammy, he ran and climbed up to a tree as fast as he could. He didn't want nothing to do with them tigers. Wouldn't you know it, but the tigers started chasing each other right around Sammy's tree. Round and around, chasing each other's tails, round and around, faster and faster, faster and faster. Sammy's up in the tree, his head spinning around. All he can see is black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Pretty soon they got going so fast, all he could see was a big blurry yellow, faster and faster, until, well, those tigers, they melted right down into a big puddle of yellow tiger butter. Sammy climbed down the tree. He filled up the bucket with tiger butter, went over to the stump, and he put on his shoes and his pajamas and his new hat and his parasol, and he headed back home. He gave the tiger butter to his mom, and she made up the best doses anybody in that village had ever tasted. Well, that's the end of the story, sort of. Hold that tiger, hold that tiger, hold that tiger, hold that tiger, hold that tiger. Where's that tiger? Get that tiger. Hold that tiger, hold that tiger, that tiger. Hold that tiger, hold that tiger, hold that tiger, yeah.